What if I told you that starting a fuel tanker business could require an investment of more than $500,000 before you make your first dollar? Now imagine owning 10 fuel trucks. Depending on the equipment and financing, your fleet could be worth $3 million to $4 million. Own 50 trucks, and you could be managing assets worth more than $20 million. Yet, every year, entrepreneurs and investors continue entering this business. Why? Because fuel is one of the world's most important products. Every day, millions of cars, pickup trucks, buses, semi-trucks, tractors, construction machines, and airplanes need fuel. If fuel stops moving, the economy slows down. So, how much money does it really take to own fuel trucks? Where does the fuel come from? How do fuel truck owners get paid? And why do some companies own only the trucks while others own both the trucks and the fuel stations? Let's find out. Welcome to Raymap's Profit Lab, where we break down real businesses, real investments, and the real numbers behind how successful companies make money. If you enjoy learning about profitable businesses, investing, and industries that keep the world moving, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who loves business. It really helps the channel grow. Now let's begin. When most people stop at a gas station, they pay for fuel, drive away, and never think about how that fuel arrived there. But behind every gallon of gasoline or diesel is a massive business worth billions of dollars. The journey begins long before the fuel reaches the gas station. First, crude oil is pumped from underground oil fields. In the United States, some of the biggest oil-producing states include Texas, New Mexico, North Dakota, Alaska, and Oklahoma. Every day, millions of barrels of crude oil are produced from these regions. But crude oil cannot be poured directly into your car. It must first travel to a refinery. The United States has some of the largest oil refineries in the world, especially along the Texas Gulf Coast and Louisiana. These refineries process crude oil into gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and other petroleum products. After refining, the fuel is transported through pipelines, ships, barges, or rail to large fuel storage terminals. Some of these terminals can store millions of gallons of fuel. This is where fuel truck companies enter the business. Every morning, fuel tanker trucks arrive at these storage terminals. The driver checks the delivery order. The correct type of fuel is loaded into the tanker. Then the truck begins its journey to its customer. That customer could be a gas station. It could be a trucking company. It could be a farm. It could be an airport. It could even be a large construction company using hundreds of machines every day. This means a fuel truck company is not limited to supplying gas stations. Its customers can come from many different industries. Now let's talk about the money. The biggest question is, how much does it cost to start? The answer depends on whether you buy new or used equipment. A brand new highway tractor capable of pulling a fuel tanker can cost between $150,000 and $220,000. The tanker trailer itself can cost another $80,000 to $150,000. That means one complete fuel tanker can easily cost between $230,000 and $370,000. But buying the truck is only the beginning. You also need commercial insurance. Because gasoline and diesel are hazardous materials, insurance costs are much higher than those of ordinary trucking companies. For one fuel tanker, annual insurance can easily reach $20,000 to $50,000, depending on the company, location, and coverage. Then there are permits and licenses. Companies transporting hazardous materials must meet strict government safety requirements. Drivers also need additional qualifications before they can legally transport fuel. For example, a company may transport fuel to Circle K, 7-Eleven, Speedway, or independent gas stations without owning any of those businesses. Its income comes from transportation services, not from selling fuel. The second business model requires much more investment. In this model, the company owns both the fuel trucks and the gas stations. Instead of paying another company to deliver fuel, it uses its own fleet. This gives the company more control over its operations and allows it to earn income from several different sources. First, it earns money by transporting its own fuel. Second, it earns money every time customers buy gasoline or diesel. Third, many stations generate additional income from convenience stores, restaurants, coffee shops, car washes, and other services. This is one reason why some of the largest fuel companies continue investing billions of dollars into expanding both their transportation fleets and their retail fuel networks. Now let's answer one of the biggest questions. How much money can a fuel truck business actually make? The first thing to understand is the difference between revenue and profit. Revenue is all the money a company receives from its customers. Profit is the money left after paying all the expenses. Many people hear that a fuel transportation company earns millions of dollars every year and assume the owner keeps all that money. That is not true. A large part of that revenue goes toward fuel for the trucks, driver salaries, insurance, maintenance, loan repayments, taxes, permits, office expenses, dispatch staff, and many other operating costs. This is why successful business owners pay close attention to costs. Even small savings can make a big difference across an entire fleet. Let's look at an example. Imagine a company owns 10 fuel trucks. If each truck completes several deliveries every week under long-term contracts, the business can generate millions of dollars in annual revenue. But revenue is not the same as profit. After paying drivers, maintaining the fleet, purchasing insurance, covering fuel costs, repaying equipment loans, and meeting all other operating expenses, the company's actual profit will be much lower than its total revenue. This is why companies focus on efficiency. The more deliveries a truck can complete without increasing costs too much, the more profitable the business becomes. Technology plays a major role in improving those profits. Many fuel transportation companies use GPS tracking to monitor every truck in real time. Dispatch software plans the shortest routes to reduce fuel consumption and save time. Fuel stations also use electronic systems that monitor the amount of fuel remaining in their underground storage tanks. When fuel reaches a certain level, the system automatically alerts the supplier that another delivery is needed. This helps prevent fuel shortages while allowing trucking companies to plan deliveries more efficiently. Let's talk about some of the biggest customers. One obvious customer is the gas station. In the United States, there are more than 100,000 gas stations, and many of them receive deliveries several times every week. Busy stations located along major highways such as Interstate 10, Interstate 40, Interstate 80, and Interstate 95 may require deliveries even more often because thousands of vehicles stop there every day. Companies like Love's Travel Stops, Pilot Flying J, Buc-ee's, Circle K, and many independent fuel retailers all depend on reliable fuel deliveries to keep their stations operating. But gas stations are only one part of the market. Large trucking companies consume enormous amounts of diesel every day. Construction companies require fuel for bulldozers, excavators, cranes, and generators. Farmers need diesel during planting and harvesting seasons to keep tractors and harvesting machines running. Mining companies depend on fuel for massive haul trucks and heavy equipment. Factories use fuel for backup generators and industrial machinery. Airports require jet fuel to keep aircraft operating on schedule. All of these industries create opportunities for fuel transportation companies. One of the reasons investors like this business is because demand is relatively stable. People may reduce spending on luxury items during difficult economic times. They may delay buying a new television or a new phone, but food still needs to be transported. Hospitals still need supplies. Emergency vehicles still need fuel. Farmers still need to grow crops. Airlines still operate flights. That means fuel continues to move throughout the economy. Of course, the business also has risks. Fuel prices can rise sharply, increasing operating costs. Interest rates can make financing new trucks more expensive. Driver shortages can make it difficult to expand. New environmental regulations may require companies to invest in newer equipment. Unexpected accidents can lead to expensive repairs and legal costs. This is why successful fuel transportation companies invest heavily in safety. Drivers receive specialized training. Vehicles are inspected regularly. Equipment is maintained to very high standards. The goal is simple: protect people, protect the environment, and protect the business. As companies become more successful, many choose to expand. A business may start with one truck. After securing reliable contracts, it buys a second truck, then a third, then 5. Eventually, the company may operate dozens of trucks across several states. Some businesses expand even further by purchasing fuel storage terminals or acquiring gas stations. Owning more parts of the supply chain allows them to earn income from transportation as well as fuel sales. This strategy has helped many of the world's largest energy companies build businesses worth billions of dollars. But every large company started somewhere. Behind every fleet of 50 or 100 fuel trucks was once a business owner trying to finance a single vehicle and win the first customer. That is perhaps the biggest lesson from this industry. Success does not come from owning the most trucks on day one. It comes from managing money wisely, keeping customers satisfied, operating safely, controlling costs, and growing steadily over time. Fuel transportation is not an easy business. It requires significant capital, careful planning, experienced employees, and strict attention to safety. But because fuel remains essential to modern life, companies that operate efficiently can build stable, long-term businesses that play a vital role in keeping the economy moving. Whether fuel is traveling from the refineries of Texas through storage terminals in Louisiana to busy highways in Florida, California, Illinois, or New York, one thing remains true. Before it reaches a fuel pump, someone has to transport it. And for the companies that do it well, that responsibility can become a very rewarding business. If you enjoyed today's breakdown of the economics of owning fuel trucks, make sure you subscribe to Raymap's Profit Lab, give this video a like, and share it with someone who enjoys learning about business and investing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.